G'day everyone, Rach here from Rara's Realm. Welcome to my flosstube channel. I'm a Kiwi cross stitcher and I'm sharing my year of madness with you all. Hello to new subscribers and g'day to those returning. We have a kitten behind us and I've just seen my cat chase it out onto the road. Yes, and well, you might look at the house. Okay, I shall try to ignore them and see what they're up to, or not see what they're up to, and get on with the task at hand. Anyway, a little bit of housekeeping for a moment please. Susan, who I met at Quilter's Quarters here, I did see your comment and I did reply with my social media email. So rather than try and figure out which one you are on Facebook, I thought that would be the easiest. So if you haven't seen that comment or reply yet, it's there, and if for some reason you can't see it, if there's some jiggery pokery that's preventing it from being shown, just comment again and I'll try and find you through Facebook as originally suggested. Right. My cat is so naughty. Okay, we are in the midweek Monday of our fortnight. I've got a spot on my cheek right there. It's on the camera, it's not on me, but it's very disheartening and I want to do that or I want to go and do that, and I'm just going to try and get over it. So I have actually 5 things to share with you and some haul. I've still got one package outstanding, which is the one from the Fat Quarter shop, which has the floss tube, the country, oh my goodness gracious me, Priscilla and Chelsea's classic Colourworks pack, amongst other things, is in that. But being as it's a public holiday here today, I doubt that it will move very far if it's actually in New Zealand yet. I haven't checked, so hopefully that'll be here by the end of the week and I can share those goodies by the end of the week. I've been watching quite a few quilty things, I have to say, in preparation for what I had to do. I do not like my cat on the road. What's going on? Oh, because where's he gone? My cat is such a scaredy cat. He only has pretty much 5 humans he comes out for. And there are people walking on the street and he's had to scarper somewhere to hide. The little kittens run back to his house and mine's gone further away. Silly boy. Anyway, just ignore. Right, back to the task at hand. So yes, 5 projects to share. So the first ball out of the hat last week was my focus piece, which currently is Autumn Valley Quilting Bee, and I'm determined to have this finished. I'm telling myself I want to have this beginning of June, by the end of September I think. So I've basically got 1, 2, 3 bits to go. So I'm thinking a block per month, June, July, August, and a backup month of September. I did comment a little while ago that possibly I would make this automatically part of the rotation, and I'll see at the next ball pulling next week. If it doesn't come up, then the following time I might actually make it part of the rotation every, so it gets 2 days every fortnight, 4 days a month, in the vain hope of having this finished. I really want to get it done. So, actually we still need this. When I showed this to you last week, I am down in here and I think I had got this main face of the building done, the roof, and possibly a teeny bit of that face and a little bit of the green. So I had a good push and I made sure I got the house done and the green and stars under the house. I decided not to start a new length of green there. I'd wait until I move across, and I really should have pulled the border across, and then basically that's all done. A question. Is it going to show up? if I hold it still enough. See, it's got established with a date, so this refers to the quilting bee. What's the general consensus? I don't know. Will I put this year, as in this is the year that I finished it, or will I do it as charted, as in the year that Ida, Virginia, Ruby and Opal made this Orchard Valley quilting bee? I don't know. I'm not sure what to do with that. And no, Jill, I am not pulling out the names and changing them to the Stitchy Cream names. I'm just getting in before you do. Okay, then the next ball out of the hat was to work on Blessed Bee, and this is a relatively new start. The last time you saw it, I've got the skips done, this bottom border done, Milady is done, and I had just started on a red flower. So I haven't moved as far as I could have done. So I've got the flower finished and I've made a start on the house. I think with such a big expanse of white, I'm probably going to do a length of colour, a length of white, that sort of thing, and just move around the pattern. It is a small pattern. I mean, it's only probably going to come up to about here. So I should get this finished relatively quickly, really, providing it gets picked, obviously. Then the next ball out of the hat, oops, here he comes back again. Get off the road, you stupid cat. Oh, and there's his mate coming back again. Right, the next ball, you don't need a cat commentary really. The next ball out of the hat was the new ball that I had put in, which is my desire to make a mini quilt. So I followed I should have brought the book in. I do have a book that I picked up at Quilters Quarters, which is my local quilting shop, where I buy my DMC. You'll come in home? Good boy. Keep coming, bring your mate. Yep. It's just as well we live in a cul-de-sac with the amount of running around the roads these cats do. The book is, it's about making blocks, and it gives you, if you want to make a certain size block, you need to cut these pieces in this size, and you need this number of pieces. It breaks it down quite clearly. I quite like it, and I had a block chosen in mind that was the first one that I wanted to start, but I was a bit dubious that it might be a bit too advanced for my beginneriness. Good word, that one. In watching a Pam and Steph, I heard about a channel called Kia Bee. So I went and had a look at her channel, and she had a tutorial for a half log cabin block. And I watched that tutorial and it looked relatively simple, and I thought my beginner-ish-y stuff could cope with this block. And I even saw the piece at the end where she put 4 of these blocks together, and I thought, yes, I could do that. So I chose my fabric, I ironed my fabric, I cut my fabric into the 10-inch squares, I re-ironed my squares, I then cut them down into the blocks, and I sewed them together, and I don't like it. So the first problem we have is that initially, and don't even know which block it is to show you. The first problem I have is that the first block that I put through the machine, I don't think I got my seam allowances very good. So that block is really skew-if. By blocks 3 and 4, I'm pretty good. I haven't actually checked to see if they actually are the true size, but certainly they're square and they look a lot better. These two. So anyway, this is my one block of the half log cabin block, and it was very easy to cut. I mean, she explained it brilliantly. My problem is that actually, and I didn't think about this enough when I was laying it out before I sewed the pieces together. Will that do, if I can do it? I can't see. Okay. I just don't like the non-symmetry of, that's not the right way around, is it? Oh, I've got a block in the background, that's why. I don't like, I like symmetry, and I just don't like the way this is. Yeah, so I've either got too many fabrics, which I use 4 pieces of fabric. So there's either too many fabrics in these blocks, which is why it's making it really a hot mess for me, or it really is just the style of the block. I don't know. So I've had a go, and I'm going to use these blocks to play with other things. So I then saw a Missouri Star Quilting, whatever they're called. She did a block that looks really interesting as well. So I'm actually going to use this to practice that block. So I will do some, I don't know. Anyway, I have attempted my mini quilt. It has not worked on this one. Oh, look at that. That's brilliant, isn't it? I don't see it unless I put it up like that. Interesting. It's an E for effort, but it's a fail overall. It's more work is needed. Anyway, it's more than I've ever done before, though, I have to say. And I do like the colours, but I don't know. I've got some more learning to do. Alright, the next ball after the mini quilts was to fully finish an ornament, and I actually picked 2. I'm now of the view that when I get this, I've just dropped one. When I pull this out, because I've got to set everything up, I might as well do 2 at this point. Excuse me while I bend down. Okay. Both of these are pretty abominable too. I think by the time I had done that, I was like, blimmin' sewing machines. So I wasn't as hot on the ball. I don't know. Anyway, let's just show you. So that's the first one. And as you can see, I've got this thing here. But it was measured, see down here, so there is meant to be a bit of space down here, but when I turn this inside out, the backing ripped from the front a little bit, so this has all become a bit iffy. It's possibly a little bit too bulky for the size too. What I should have looked at for this is a flat fold, but I don't have the board. I don't want to use cardboard because there'll be chemicals in the cardboard, so I need to either order some stuff from Amazon or find something here that I can use. But I do like this little chart a lot. This is from a Just Cross Stitch magazine. I'm not sure which one, but I would have told you it when I showed it initially. What I'm thinking is that I need to get myself some trim, and I can probably fudge this a little bit better by having some trim around it, which will take away from this corner. Anyway, so that's the first one. Finished with the velvet that I picked up at the pop-up shop last weekend. And boy, ladies, aren't we pleased we went last weekend and not last Saturday. The weather on Saturday was abominable. The other finish I've got is, this is one of my favourite stitches this year so far, is this little chart. Again, this is from a Just Cross Stitch ornament issue. And this, again, I had some problems at the bottom. It's not too bad now because I've managed to fix it, but I think this would benefit from having some trim around the edges just to disguise the edges. So I don't like them too flat, so I'm having problems getting the corners puffed up a bit. Anyway, and he's also got the nice velvet on the back. So anyway, there are 2 more ornaments done, bar hanging things. So that was 4 days, of which today is day 4 of those 4 days. I actually got the ornaments sewn on the mini quilt days, and I just stuffed and stitched them closed yesterday morning. So I've basically had 2 free days up my sleeve. So I decided to pull out a project that is not being pulled out on the balls. For some reason the ball hides in the corner and doesn't want to come out. So I pulled out Lucy Calcutt, and I am still up here. I mean, I started this at the end of January last year and I've done bugger all. So I'm working at the moment on this border. This bit is done. The border and everything, and those two elements, and I've moved over to, this is page 2 and 3, and my goal at the moment is to get the border done. So I did a little bit of stitching yesterday and added some more greenery, the light green colour down here, and there's I think I've got to finish that one, don't I? Yep. So that needs finishing, and there's one more. There's half of one in this space because that's the end of the page. And then my goal, I don't know how well this is, actually, just show you on this side. Then what I will do is make a start on these darker colours here. Try and get all of those done. So I can't remember how many there are to do. I might not get them all done, but anything is better than nothing. So she's going to be big when she's done. This is half the fabric. It's folded in half. So that's why I really would like to get moving a little bit. I kind of said to myself that I wasn't to start another sampler till I was halfway through Lucy. If Lucy's not being pulled, it's very hard to get halfway through Lucy. So that is my stuff from last week. Now, my haul. I don't know if you have a name for this one, actually. This is a piece that I got off the Stash Unload Facebook group. I tried a second person. I had one person I bought 2 different envelopes from and had great success with that person, and I will keep an eye out for them posting things. Thankful Heart, this is called. It's not written on the front. And this was another person I tried, and eventually this turned up, and I really like this a lot. So this, I think, will go into the kitting up pile. Sorry for my shaky hand. What is the stitch count of this? It's 116 by 113, so it fits within my sort of not too big of a start. And it's just done with DMC, so I'm going to work on getting that kitted up as well because I really like that. It's a You and I and Friends. I don't think I said that. I think I've put it back in the plastic now, but very pretty chart. I absolutely love the border. So that will go into my kitting up pile. Then, sorry. Through my new local L&S, which is in the Big Smoke up the road, I ordered, I'm going to show them all, just proof Jill that I've got yours. Jill and I ordered the pins that go with these 2 blocks. The dog ones I've put away, but I'm going to work on kitting up the cat block. So that's the Meow pins. Yes, they were $30 bloody for 5 pins. That's Meow. And then I've got a set of Wolf, and Jill's got a set of Wolf. So I'll bring yours on Sunday, Jill. Okay. And then my last order, this is my last 1, 2, 3 stitch order. I had a brainwave, which doesn't happen very often, and I thought, why am I going to all this trouble to kit up things when there are lots of things already kitted? So I had a nosy round 1, 2, 3 stitch at things that were already kitted, and I will show you what I picked. But firstly I had to get, was it Farm Life? The new Little House Needleworks Farm Life, which I probably won't be kitting up. 190 by 129. Probably won't be kitting up at this point. So that was that. So my first thing, or things, I went to, so I was thinking kits, and I'm trying to think of all the names that I've heard people say kits, and Mill Hill. So I thought, okay, I could get a Mill Hill kit because it will kill two birds with one stone. It's already kitted and it will give me some beading practice. Yes, I know. For when I want to eventually do those mermaids, Mirabilia mermaids that I've got. And I may have put another Mirabilia in my wish list. What is it called? Pond Lily. It's little, and I think very much that I might look to do that. It's the colours that I like, it's water, it's... Anyway, so, digressing. So I got from Mill Hill, and these are designed by Debbie Mum, and they are snowbells, and I have got Frank. So, comes with everything. So there's Frank. I sure hope he stitches up like the picture because they're adorable in the picture. This is Freezy. Again, kits, beads, everything. And the last snowbell I brought is Jingle. I think there are 5 altogether, but I only picked 3. So again, beads, threads. So if I get a just cross stitch ornament ball, I'm going to include these as part of that decision making. I've got one that I have to finish, but then I will include those. And the last kit that I got, I've just put it in a protected bag because I opened it and now I can't close it nicely. Yeah, it's a big one. I don't actually know if I know what the stitch count is on this without looking. Anyway, this is called Santa's Midnight Ride and it's a Dimensions kit. Look at that beauty. I was kind of hoping, wishful thinking, that the background was printed, but no, it looks like it's a full coverage. I am mad. Fully kitted, metallic thread. You probably can't see very well, I'll pull it out a bit. Oh yeah, actually that was a better way. Look, navy blue Ada, I think it is, yep. Or is it an even weave? Anyway, so, and I think it came with 2 needles too. So that is another kitted project, which I will add to the pile because it is already kitted. It's probably a bit big, but it's the year of madness. So I will stick that in there as well. Oh, my father is home. We better hurry up and finish up. Okay, so this week, so today I will do a bit more on Lucy this afternoon, and then it's the viewer's choice, and if anyone has read the comments from last week, it's overwhelming. I have trained you well, ladies. Cooper will be starting tomorrow. I do not believe anybody voted for the Night Sky one. Lots of people said I've liked it, I've got it in my stash, but I'm voting for Cooper. It'll get done at some point because it's kitted, ready to go, it's here. So I've got Cooper then for Tuesday, Wednesday. Actually the other chart is called Search the Sky. Let's just not confuse things, I've just seen it written down. So Cooper Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is Santa's Village, and then next weekend is Hawk Run Hollow. And that's the village of Hawk Run Hollow I'm doing. And then it will be back to more choosing next Monday. Right, before my father crashes into the house with all his stuff, I shall go, and I will catch you next week. Have a good stitchy week, everyone. Bye for now.